What's going on, everybody? It's Mr. Foodie here, and today we'll be trying out Dalessandro's. So Dalessandro's is probably one of the, if not the most popular cheesesteak place in Philadelphia. A lot of people rave about it. I gotta be honest, it's not one of my top cheesesteaks in Philly. I do prefer other ones, and I'll probably do another video on those later on down the line. But I figure in the area, I wanted to give it a try, just to see how much it's improved, if it has improved or not from the last time I had it. So let's get right into it. I have my cheesesteak right here. All right, so nicely wrapped here. It's got side banana peppers. Let's unveil this double wrapped here. All right, and let's do the big unveiling. Oof, look at this. So this right here is classic cheesesteak with American cheese, fried onions, salt, pepper, and ketchup and mayo as well. Get it right in there. Got the thick cut onions here. And then let's check out that cross section. All right, let's check that out. Nice and glistening here. You can tell that cheesesteak is going to be pretty good based on how much it is reflecting across the natural light. Check out the other side right here. Try not to make a mess too much in my car. All right. So this cheesesteak is, as far as I remember, was $15. It's cash only. So just make sure you have some cash on hand. They do not take credit card or debit card. There's probably some nearby ATMs in the area. Luckily, I did have some cash on me. But yeah, let's get right into it. So, all right, here's the Dalessandro's cheesesteak. Get nice and close up in there. There we go. But let's get right into it. Here we go. Dalessandro's cheesesteak. Cheers. So I don't know if it's because it's been a long time since I had cheesesteak. This was actually pretty good. Might say it's even better than the last time I had it, which I can't remember. The last time I think I had it last year. But the one criticism I have about Dalessandro's cheesesteaks over other ones is that the meat is a bit too finely chopped, which, I mean, everybody has their own preferences. Some people might prefer it that way. I personally like it, with bigger pieces of meat, like not to the point where it's not like, I still want it to be chopped up, but not to this extent. As I mentioned, I might do a future cheesesteak video for my more preferable cheesesteaks, where the steaks are more to my liking. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the flavor, it's all there. Again, nice and shiny, goes to show how well they incorporate the cheese with the steak. Sometimes a lot of places they put the cheese on top of the steak, so it's like the cheese is on one side of the sandwich and not really incorporated throughout the steak. That's what I do like about this. So the cheese is on between those crevices. Have some banana peppers right here. Gonna put some of these here with my cheesesteak. I do like that sour taste that sort of cuts through the cheesesteak. Here we go. Cheers. I will say that's pretty satisfying. I don't know. I might end up moving this up in the rankings of my cheesesteaks in Philadelphia. Yeah, I probably wouldn't put it in my top spot. It's definitely not number one, but it's, much better than what I had before. Yeah, I got here on a Thursday, not even afternoon. Got here on a Thursday morning, around 11:30. There wasn't that many customers. Usually it's really crowded. There's usually a line, especially on the weekends when more people have more free time. But got here Thursday morning. There was only like one group ahead of me, so managed to get my cheesesteak pretty quickly. So that's a good sign. But you know, your mileage may vary, of course. Look at that. I'm just hoping not to make a big old mess in my car. I don't know how most people do it, but you know. One last bite of this first half. Let's wash it down with some sweet tea. Balance it out. Nice and refreshing. All right, here's the second half. This whole thing right now. All right. Cheers. Another criticism I have about cheesesteak is how like thick the onions are. So I'm not trying to like spill it everywhere, but yeah, I would like the onions to be a little thinner, a little like more finely. So like the opposite of what I want in terms of the meat and the onions. You know, want the meat to be like not as finely chopped and the onions to be a little more smaller. Whereas with this one, it's like the opposite. It's like the inverse of it. But you know, flavor-wise, it's not bad. I mean, like at the very least, the onions are still tender. Like if it was like thick cut onions that weren't like fully cooked all the way, then that would be like a bit of an issue, because you know how like usually with onions the flavor is pretty strong unless you cook it through. So at least with these ones are pretty well cooked, if not like a little overcooked. All right, banana pepper bite. Here we go. I do like how they give you the option of putting banana peppers on the side. That was like the little upsell. Here we go. Another bite. I know lately more cheesesteak restaurants have been incorporating Cooper Sharp in their cheesesteaks. I don't recall seeing it there at Dalessandro's, but I wanted to try like the American cheese, like, you know, it's like the default. Let's get like a baseline, because I feel like, you know, like most Cooper Sharp cheesesteaks, they'll probably taste very similar, because the Cooper Sharp sort of like, you know, overpowers like the rest of the cheesesteak, which isn't a bad thing. Like Cooper Sharp cheesesteaks are amazing, but I don't want that to be like the only, like I want to be able to like taste the rest of the sandwich too. So, and like with American, it's like, you know, sort of like a neutral flavor. Doesn't like, I mean, you know, cheesesteaks started off with like, you know, American cheese, or as far as I know, like American is like the go-to. Okay, here we go. With a bite. The bread is nice and soft. Regular Italian roll. No sesame seeds or anything like that. And I know, like, you know, some breads, like, they're a little more rustic. They have like sesame seeds on it. Gives it a little more of a crunch. You know, I mean, soft bread works too. You know, it's definitely like easier to eat, like, you know, especially like if you eat for a very long time, like, you know, it's easier on the jaw. Like if you eat like harder bread, like after a while your jaw gets a little tired after chewing for so long. Probably like 2 or 3 more bites. Get another little close up. Right, here we go. One last big bite. Bon appetit. So that was Dalessandro's cheesesteak, and I was very surprised on how good it was. Again, a couple gripes that I had about it was how finely chopped the meat was and how thick the onions were. If they were to switch roles, then I think it'd be a much better experience, in my opinion. But there's some people that prefer it that way, others that don't, like me. But yeah, if I were to give Dalessandro's cheesesteak an overall grade, I would give it a B+. So since I finished up the cheesesteak, we're about to finish up this video. So I thank you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you all stay absolutely valuable, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.